Rabbit on Bear Mountain. Rabbit was flying his kite. Raccoon and Woodchuck and Skunk came by. "Would you like to fly my kite?" Rabbit asked. "No, thank you, Rabbit. We came to tell you something," Raccoon said. "We came to tell you that tomorrow we are going on a long, long hike way up to Bear Mountain."
"But you can't come," said Woodchuck. "We're sorry, but you're just too little."
"I'm not too little to hike up Bear Mountain," Rabbit said.
"Yes, you are, Rabbit. You couldn't keep up."
"I could too keep up." Skunk looked up at Rabbit's kite. "Don't feel bad, Rabbit. You're a good kite flyer. When you are bigger, you'll be a good hiker too." "So long, Rabbit. We'll tell you when we get back all about it." And Raccoon and Woodchuck and Skunk went off down the road. The next morning they met at the bottom of Bear Mountain. "Poor Rabbit," Skunk said.
Wait, what are those stripes for? What are those stripes
"I
for?
don't know." Skunk said, "I wonder what he will do today."
"He can always fly his kite," Woodchuck said. "Help me put on my knapsack, Skunk."
"What have you got in that pack, Woodchuck? It's very heavy."
"Lunch."
Raccoon pointed ahead. "See the paint marks on the trees? They mark the trail all the way up to the top. Now follow me in single file."
"Don't go too fast, Raccoon. My pack is heavy," said the Woodchuck.
After a while Skunk stopped. "I'm getting thirsty." Raccoon turned around. "Drink a little water from your canteen, but save some for later, Skunk. We have a long, long way to go before we get to the top of Bear Mountain." Suddenly Woodchuck stopped.
"What's that noise?"
Skunk bumped into him. "What noise?"
"That funny noise," Woodchuck said. "Don't you hear it?"
"Bears!" whispered Skunk. "Bears on Bear Mountain!" And he hid behind Woodchuck. "Do you see what I see?" Raccoon asked. They looked up the trail. Someone was sitting on top of a high rock. It was Rabbit. "What are you doing here, Rabbit?" Raccoon called. "Now I'm sitting. Pretty soon I will be hiking again." "That's not nice, Rabbit. You are not big enough to hike up Bear Mountain." "I am too big enough." And with a hop and a skip, Rabbit went up the trail and soon was out of sight. Raccoon shook his head. "He'll never make it." Skunk groaned. "Maybe I won't either. My feet hurt, and I'm still thirsty." They began to hike again. First Raccoon, then Woodchuck, and then Skunk walked in single file up the mountain. "Look," Raccoon pointed ahead. "Someone is waving a flag."
"It's Rabbit. He hurt himself," Woodchuck said. "What did I tell you?"
"What's the matter, Rabbit? Are you in trouble?" Raccoon asked. "Oh, no," Rabbit said. "I was just wiping the dust off my ears."
"Listen, Rabbit," said Woodchuck. "You better start back soon before you get all tired out."
"Or before your feet begin to hurt," added Skunk. "I'm not tired and my feet feel fine," Rabbit said. "And I'm off to the top of Bear Mountain," and up down the trail he went.
"He's just showing off," Woodchuck said. "Is it time for lunch yet?"
"Not yet, Woodchuck," said Raccoon. Just then they heard a loud rumble. A black cloud hid the sun. Woodchuck looked up.
"It's going to rain. My lunch will get all wet."
Skunk looked up too. "Maybe a little rain will cool me off." It began to rain. It rained harder and harder.
"I'm wet and I'm hungry," Woodchuck said.
"Don't fuss, Woodchuck," said Raccoon. "Good hikers never
But
fuss."
he's not catching up.
It looks like he's behind.
"I'm not fussing. I'm just wet and I'm hungry."
Raccoon pointed through the trees. "Look, the sun is coming out. It was only a shower. We'll be dry again soon." Little streams of water ran down the trail. Ferns and mosses sparkled in the sun. "We could see a rainbow if we were on top of Bear Mountain," Raccoon said.
If, when are we going to be there?" Woodchuck asked.
"You're getting cross, Woodchuck," Skunk said.
What cross mean?
"It means angry. Maybe you should eat something." Raccoon peered ahead. "I see someone. Guess who?"
"I guessed," Woodchuck said.
"So have I," said Skunk. Rabbit was sitting under a big rock eating a carrot. Woodchuck shook his head.
"He's dry as a bone."
Rabbit stood when he saw them. "It can't be much farther," he called. "I'll meet you at the top." and off he went again. Skunk groaned. I hope I can make it. My feet are killing me. Woodchuck sniffed the needles of a fir tree.
It smells just like Christmas, but why are the trees so little, Raccoon?
Trees can't grow They can't grow tall up this high. It's too cold and the wind blows too hard. I wish I could lie down for a little while, whispered Skunk to himself. You can see for miles and miles when we get to the top, Raccoon said.
When are we gonna get there? Woodchuck asked.
Soon, said Raccoon. Up and up and up they climbed, up and some more, and up again.
That's Bear.
Until at last they reached the very top of Bear Mountain. Rabbit was waiting for them. Now I can see the meadow where I live. There's Echo Lake, shouted Skunk. It's so far away it looks like a puddle. Woodchuck put down his pack.
I see mountains and still more mountains.
Everyone looked and looked. Finally Skunk sat down. I must admit, it was worth it. Next week we'll climb Moose Mountain, Raccoon said. It's even higher. I'll have to ask my feet first. I'd like to go with you, said Rabbit. Do you still think I'm too little to go hiking with you? Raccoon whispered something to Woodchuck and Skunk. They whispered something back. Then Raccoon turned to Rabbit and said, Rabbit, we decided that by next week you will be just the right size to hike up Moose Mountain with us. Hooray! Shouted Rabbit. Now the sun was in the west, behind a rock out of the wind.
There's a bear.
Skunk and Raccoon.
Real.
It's just a mountain. Skunk and Raccoon lay down to rest. Woodchuck ate his lunch.
There's his eyes.
And Rabbit flew his kite high, high over the top of Bear Mountain. The end.